Welcome back, everybody, to Dr. G and Technology. I'm your host, Dr. Matthew Gonzalez. On this channel, we look to help you in your IT career. Today's video is on cybersecurity certifications and careers. So before we get too deep, certainly remember to like the video, comment below, tell us what you like, what you don't like, and of course, kind of what careers in cyber you're looking for. That helps us kind of tailor the content for you. Hit the subscribe button, of course, that way you catch up and keep up with all of our latest videos and content. And of course, the bell button, that way you're alerted about the new videos. And lastly, click our free link above regarding how much can I make working in IT. So on we go with careers in cybersecurity and specifically certifications. So we're going to test drive a few websites so that you can see and go along with me regarding where I think you should go if you're a beginner, and then if you're experienced, and then more advanced in cybersecurity. If you're a beginner, I like Comptia's Security Plus certification right here, right? This is kind of where you begin in cybersecurity in terms of certifications. There's a few others out there, but this one's very well known. They have a lot of industry ties, such as it's ISO compliant, as well as DoD government also accept this and look for people who have Comptia certifications, which means so do the major defense contractors, as do the corporate environments, etc. So I'm going to jump straight down here and go over the kinds of jobs you can get at Comptia, right? And if you look right here, these are sample set of different jobs, of course, something in help desk, something in network engineering, something security, DevOps, IT auditors. I mean, this is just a high level sample of the types of jobs you can get and certifications. Most likely, if you're getting something in Security Plus, you're likely going to be working in a job that helps lock down applications or a network or something of that nature. So a job like that. Coming down a little further, we get a bit of the nuts and bolts about the exam. So maximum 90 questions with a mixture of multiple choice and performance based. So what that means is kind of a lab oriented, as if you were sitting in a lab and answering questions on the exam as if you were fixing something or trying to harden security on a network, right? Something of that nature. Passing scores on a sliding scale, about 750 points. And the Comptia certification, it changes, every couple years. Price is $370, very affordable US, and a great place to go if you want to get your career started. The nice thing about Comptia is they have a ton of certifications, right? Security Plus is not the only one, but just know that in terms of jumping into cybersecurity, it's a great place for a beginner. If you're moving more towards an experience, you're an experienced individual, and maybe you're already looking to change within IT as an example, or you're coming in fresh from somewhere else and you have some experience, I would recommend EC Council for certifications. You click on this link right here. What I like about how they have this laid out, it almost tells you the kind of jobs that you can be looking for based on the certification. So for example, ethical hacking has the certified ethical hacker, network security, right? Kind of like this would have been maybe where Security Plus was if this were Comptia, but they have their own types of network security, and many others, business continuity, right? A big flavor. About 6 years ago, I decided to jump into cybersecurity. From previously, I was doing a lot of IT project management, and I thought, where should I start? And while I knew of the certified ethical hacker, that's definitely one of their more popular ones, I thought to myself, let me try this one here, this CHFI, the Certified Hacking Forensic Investigator. And I went to an EC Council sponsored class, and I actually went to their conference and sat for a class where they offered classes. And I thought, if anything in cyber is going to interest me, it will be this one, the CHFI. Those of you who are kind of interested in a lot of those kind of TV shows, this might be of interest to you as well. And I thought to myself, if this one doesn't get me, it doesn't get my interest, then I don't think anything else in cyber will. Well, it did. After taking the class, it was about a 3-day class. I took the exam on the 3rd day and I passed, and I've had my CHFI ever since. A few years later, I decided to sit for the ethical hacker CEH exam, and that one's great too, because as you progress in your classes or in your knowledge, you can kind of expand where you want to go. The difference between CHFI and CEH, and I'm only going through these because this is how I went, is CHFI is very much for the law enforcement community. In fact, I think I was only one of 2 people in my class that was more IT focused. Everybody else in the class was law enforcement focused. Nothing wrong with it. It's a good blend. This is where the 2 worlds meet, right here at CHFI. Certified Ethical Hacker will spend a little more time on. This one goes over multiple areas of hacking, everything from how, military looks at it from a penetration testing perspective to malware and plenty of different versions of security to review. The exam, I believe 70 was a passing score at the time, and I did pass on my first go around. This one I actually bought a book and self-studied, got a book on Amazon, self-studied for about 3 weeks, and felt confident enough to go take the exam, and I did. And now remember, I had the CHFI already, and I had been working in cyber for a couple years by the time I took this exam, so I felt pretty comfortable about it. So 125 questions, 4 hours is what they give you. It is multiple choice, and again, passing score just differs. Mine was, I think, about a 70 if I remember. My grade was a little higher. And so for not taking a class but having some experience, I thought this was good. So I think anything in EC Council is always a pretty good bet, especially if you're kind of in the beginning to middle part of your cybersecurity career. If you're moving more advanced into cybersecurity, then I'd recommend the ISC² certificates and certifications. So I'm going to click here on certifications, and right here on this drop down, you'll see several of the certifications by domain. Right, you have software security, cloud. The 900-pound gorilla in our industry, meaning cybersecurity in general, is this guy, the CISSP. This one has stood the test of time. I've done a project management video where you've heard me say the PMP is the 900-pound gorilla for project management. For cyber, it's the CISSP, and it has been for many, many years. I've had lots of friends who went for the CISSP. I never have. I've been kind of more focused on some other areas of cyber, but as we alluded to, but this one is definitely no joke. It's one of the more expensive exams I've seen as well. But this one has 8 domains that are a part of it, and the domain is how the content is grouped within the CISSP, and so it's a great exam. I believe the cost is anywhere between $700 to $800, and it's certainly one to consider. And you can see here, you can find training. ISC², they really put a hard focus on who their trainers are. They definitely make them go through the trainer type of course, and so whoever you're going to get to sit for the exam and study for the exam is going to be somebody who has had some solid experience and has been vetted by ISC². So, those are kind of the 3 major groupings, and there are plenty other cybersecurity certifications out there. I definitely know that. These ones are very much defense in nature. There are a lot of offensive ones in nature, where you're going after beyond pen testing, but offensive methods. But if you're just kind of coming into cyber, just getting your arms around this thing called cybersecurity, and you need to start educating yourself, that's kind of the path I took, and I'd recommend you take as well, where you can start with something like Comptia, Security Plus, move over to EC Council, and then eventually work your way to ISC². So hopefully that's helpful, and again, drop us a line or 2 in the comments. Let us know what you think, where your cyber career is headed, and that way we can produce more content for you and go from there. So enjoy. As a reminder, like our videos, tell us what you think about them, subscribe and hit the bell button so that you get early alerts anytime we create a new video. Click the community link to join the IT Village and other IT professionals such as yourself, where you can get your questions answered. And be sure to click the free download of How Much Can I Make Working in IT.